Hello, welcome to Gecko Gaming. My name is Kyle. Today, I'm going to take a look at the Pwnage Ultra Custom Symm 2 Wireless. Fairly new mouse, just became available on their website a few days ago. I'm going to take a look at the features because this comes packed with a lot of really nice specs out of the gate that could make this a great option for you. This is the mouse. Pretty slick looking. When you order it, it's going to come as a single color. It came in this package. Very nice packaging. Nothing like out of the ordinary, but pretty nice. Pretty nice all in all. Inside the package, this will open eventually, I promise. You'll get a few things, but be some button spacers. Now, personally, I think the default is perfect. I don't really think you need to change out the button spacers. I think it's perfectly tensioned. There's really no pre and post click. You've got the shells. Now mine came black, so you'll come with whichever one you order. You'll get, like if you got the black, you'll get the black base, and then the black shell and black clicks. Now what I ended up doing was, I like the black on white aesthetic, if you couldn't tell. So to match my setup, I got some white shells, and if you've gotten the Ergo, they come with it by default. For this one, for the Symm 2 wireless at least, it doesn't come with other colored shells. It'll only come with a hex shell and a solid shell of whatever color that you ordered. So I got the white, so I ordered this here. Pop that open. It'll come with more spacers as well, so if you need them, it comes with that. And then the clicks will be in here. So this is what was originally on it. I just switched it out because, again, I like the kind of matches my setup. And then in here will be the other shells. There's instructions in there too, but mouse is pretty straightforward. Just download the driver, and that's really all you need, honestly. For switching parts off, part of the cool thing about this mice is the modularity, the customization. Really easy to swap them out. Do be aware when you order a new set along with this guy, in between the clicks, it'll have this little piece, and it'll look like something like that. Mine came like that with the white one. You'll need to remove this before you put it on. It's really easy though. Comes like this. It's kind of hard to see. It'll come attached like that, and it's necessary because these are real thin. So if they shipped it split like this, I could see that being a problem. So I think they made the right choice having that way. But it'll come like this, and what I found the easiest way is to just kind of twist it, rotate it, and it comes out real easy. It didn't really leave any marks, even on this one. Like, you can barely see, if I can get it to focus. Come on. It's not focusing. But you can barely see where the plastic came off, but it looks fine. So for switching them out, just get the lip here. Pops out real easy. The clicks aren't as easy. There's a little lip here, right there. You'll have to kind of fight against that. Pull it up and out. Fairly easy. Then to put the new ones in, clicks first, And the clicks, when you put the clicks in, there is going to be a pretty good little snap when it goes in. There you go. And then put that in. Real easy. Really, really easy. Now, the other thing to look at is weight. So let me get my handy dandy scale. Let's see what we got here. So let's start bare minimum. No back shell, just clicks. $68. So that's not bad. A lot of people like to do fingertip. This actually wouldn't feel that bad. I do kind of a hybrid grip. I don't completely have my palm hovering. It kind of rests a little bit on the back, so I don't think I would run it this way. But that's a valid way. Pretty good weight, 68 grams. With a full shell. It's 75. So that's still not bad for a complete shell. No holes, no nothing. That's pretty solid. Then, with perforations, with a little hex pattern, 73. It almost looked like 72. Yeah, 73. So, that's not bad. 73 grams. Viper Mini, wireless. It's pretty good. The sensor is a Pixart 3370. Performance is very similar to the 3389. Kovacs, flick shots, and tracking, no issues at all. And if you download the software, there's a separate driver for this mouse versus other mice from their lines. So you need to download the specific Pwnage Symm 2 driver for this one. You can adjust the liftoff distance down to 1 millimeter to 2 millimeters. Really good. 1K hertz polling rate, up to 6 DPI stages. And what I think is the most interesting is debounce time. Now, by default, I'm pretty sure it comes at 4, but you can actually reduce the debounce technically down to 0. I've been running it at 1 millisecond debounce, no issues, no double clicks, no problems. This is using Kale 8.0s, very, very nice. So really crisp, very tactile, not super heavy. Really like the clicks on this one. On the sides, not as nice as Mouse 1 and Mouse 2, but they feel good. A little bit of pre and post travel, but kind of par for side buttons on mice. Mouse 1 and Mouse 2, really no pre-travel that I can feel. And just a tiny bit of post-travel. Feels really good. Middle click feels good too. Now, the scroll wheel, personally I feel like it's a little soft. It's very comparable to other similar FPS mice though. If you're comfortable with a lot of other FPS mice, this will be fine for you. Personally, I just like them really tactile. Like switching weapons in Modern Warfare, stuff like that. That could become a bit of a pain. Now, comparing it to the Viper Mini, because this is essentially just a Viper Mini. Size-wise, it's kind of hard to tell, but the Pwnage is just like 1 millimeter longer and just a smidge wider. Height wise, is about the same. The hump, the shape, the curvature on the sides, everything is super similar. Even the comfort grooves in the Mouse 1 and Mouse 2 are very, very similar. Really, if you perform really well with the Viper Mini, you'll do well with this. The only thing is, of course, the increased weight on this. But I mean, you get to lose the mouse, the cord. So, I don't know. For me personally, I think it's worth it. Yeah, I mean, everything feels great on this thing. No squeaking. And this is with the holes. I mean, it's built like a tank. The mouse feet are PTFE, really big, really nice, really thick. I don't think you're gonna have any issues with these. I got this on a MP511. This thing's real good. This thing's really nice. I don't think you'll need to replace the feet for this at all. You won't need aftermarkets. This thing fits really good. Now, one somewhat frustrating thing about the lighting is that when you get the lighting, it has an automatic turn off when you move. Some people it'll really bug them. For me, I personally don't care. I just turn the back lighting off anyway. Improves your battery life. One thing that is kind of silly is that this guy here does not match the lighting back here. This is your DPI. So depending on what your DPI is, that's what the lighting on the scroll wheel will be. So I'm at 1600 right now. If I wanted to change to the next level up, it'll change to orange. And as long as I stay on that DPI, it's going to stay that way. Now you can change the color to match. You can change the color of all of your DPI settings to match whatever you want in the back. But the problem is, if you choose like breathing or something like that, where it like does that kind of on and off type of pattern, if you set up the backlighting to do the same thing, the timing won't match. They're on different timers. So there's no way to perfectly sync the lighting, any kind of effects between these two. If you choose to have it a single color, you can just choose the same color and it'll sync up that way. But even then, as soon as you start moving the mouse, the backlighting turns off. This one will stay on, even if you're moving the mouse. This backlighting will turn off. You're not going to see the backlighting when you're using it. You'll really only see the lighting on the scroll wheel, so I don't think it's a big deal. But some people, that really bugs them. So just so you know. Yeah, overall very impressed with this. In terms of performance, I perform just as well as like a Viper Mini, full Razer Viper, MM710. I mean, I perform just as well as those, and I get to lose the wire. This is great. I really like this. Very well built, not super heavy, but the fact that you get rid of the wire kind of removes that drag. You don't have to worry about having extra crud on your desk. You don't have to have a bungee. It's really nice. I really, really like this mouse. Now, one great thing about this mouse that I really wanted to focus on is the modularity. The shells, the different shell colors, readily available, easy to order online. I mean, I got mine in a day. They're based in California, it looks like. So if you're on the West Coast, you'll get it real quick. East Coast, probably still fairly quick. They say it's somewhere anywhere between 2 and 4 days for their standard shipping, but that's not bad. Compared to the Xenix mice, which come for Korea, not only are you saving money on the shipping, you're also not going to be waiting as long. Now back to the modularity, the customization. I personally like to modify a lot of my gaming mice. I'll take off the shell, spray paint it, put a good clear coat on it, slap it back together, change out the feet, change out the cable, stuff like that. And these mice give you the ability to do that so much easier. If I wanted to have a few different designs, say I wanted a design with a stencil, or say I wanted one design just a flat color, or one that was a different gradient from one color to the other, all I gotta do is get a different shell and just swap it out. And the best part is, while I'm doing those modifications, I still have a mouse that I can use. But on top of the good performance, the modularity and the aesthetics, I mean, this offers a lot that it's hard to not recommend. The only concern would be if you have particularly large hands, like if you don't like the Razer Viper Mini, if you don't like that, you're not going to like this. It's heavier, even though it's wireless, it loses that weight advantage. It's that same small size. It's maybe 1 millimeter or 2 millimeters larger in terms of length and width, which for me actually ended up making a very big difference. I liked the Viper Mini and I performed very well with it when I used it in game. The only issue is it was so tight on that center part where I generally grip. My grip would end up like this. So it's great because my thumb and my pinky are very close to the sensor, so there's almost this kind of natural way of me swiping and aiming. The only issue is it was so tight that my pinky finger would just get really uncomfortable. And even though I could perform very well with the Viper Mini, probably in my top 2 or 3 in terms of performance, it was just too thin. And I would get my hand would just get really cramped and uncomfortable. So even though I could perform well, I couldn't game for very long because my hand would cramp up and I wouldn't have a good time. If you can perform really well, but you can't keep playing, is it worth it? I don't know. I don't think so. So, Ultra Symm 2. If what you're looking for is a Viper Mini wireless that's a smidge bigger, great performer, wireless, a little bit of a annoying lighting issue, but nothing game breaking or game changing with that. Not a big deal. You won't even really see it when you're gripping it. I mean, so if that's what you're looking for, this is the mouse for you. Is it the best mouse? No, there's no best mouse. But this could fill the niche that you're looking for if you're looking for a small form, wireless, symmetrical mouse. So, I think that about covers it. How do I end a video? I've never ended a video before. I don't know. Do whatever you want. Like it if you liked it. Thought it was stupid, dislike it. Subscribe. I don't know. I've gone through a lot of mice and put a lot of hours into a lot of different mice. So, kind of give my opinion on those at some point. On top of that, if you haven't noticed, I've got pet geckos. Part of the gecko gaming. So I'd like to make some videos on those too. These guys are cool. Let me know if you liked it, if you have any suggestions about the video in general, how it's shot. I mean, I'm just kind of doing this in my room. If you'd be interested in going through with each of the geckos, I'd love to go through and show them to you. We'll see kind of how everything goes. See what kind of video we'll make next. I think I'm gonna like doing this. Yeah. Well, y'all have a good night, good morning, good afternoon, whatever time it is for you. Take care. Stay safe.